The number 444 represents archangels who are ready to help you.
All right, it's Tyler time. Let's try this one more time. Every time I pull out the cigar, Jules derails the show. It's time for Tyler Cameron. He is part of the Daily Wire. He is the head writer of Lady Ballers.
That's your pill alarm.
The pill alarm. It's like Tyler Cameron has hired some people from the Daily Wire who are smart enough to stop a show by placing small obstacles in front
Tyler Fischer.
Tyler Fischer? What did I say?
Tyler Cameron, but you can call him that.
Wow. No, I don't want to call him that. Tyler Fischer. Because totally opposite guy. And he's very old. Wait till you see he's trying to be a kid now. I won't have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyone else is counting, getting very impossible, counting up to 9? Anyone have to do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Always recount your pills by hand with one finger. Put on some music so I don't look so stupid.
Oh, shit. No, I'm not doing that. You'll get distracted.
Sleight of hand. Just like Louis J. Gomez taught me.
I pray it was sleight of hand.
We pray it was sleight of hand. To all the real ass heads out there, we pray it was sleight of. We want it to be sleight of hands. Admit sleight of hands, or you're going to be sleight of fans. Tyler Fischer, come on down. Give him a round of applause, by the way. Tyler Fischer. Sounds like the mothership now. With this band.
Yes.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Okay, you can
Swing by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night. All day.
I'm trying to learn this beat, this staccato.
Hey, Joe Rogan.
What's going on?
Is there a left or right here, or does it matter?
No, it's all mono.
Wow, how iconic, how symbolic. Is there a left or a right here? It doesn't matter.
Wow.
That will make so much sense when we show you. That's exactly what's happening in his life. This is a guy who's on the left. This is a guy who possibly might be gay. This is a guy who has faux hawk ideals. This is a guy who fabricates like we've seen Josh Denny do for many years. Very similar to Denny Fabrications. This is Tyler Fischer. I had not heard of him. Apparently he's a comedian. He's been a stand-up for a long time. He gets a lot of views. And Joe Rogan puts him on the show. I'd never heard of him before. I started looking into him. He's been down here in Austin. I'll see. He's been down here in Austin for the last 6 months or so, going up every week at the mothership. He's part of their full crew. You know, which is odd because I follow a lot of this mothership stuff. I'm very interested in the fall of the ship. And I never see anyone talk about Tyler Fischer. I've never seen you featured in any of the mothership's photos, and they're dumping 6 to 12 photos a minute on Instagram. I haven't heard Redbar bring you up. I haven't heard any of this stuff. And all of a sudden, I see you're at the mothership every week, and they're all hooting and hollering in the back. Joe Rogan and company have let him in. He's part of the green room scene. He shot a special called The Election Special at Joe Rogan's mothership just weeks ago. It was just released. It's called The Election Special. It's a 21-minute special, which I prefer lengthwise. He's dressed like the wardrobe department of Lady Ballers. A very low-budget wardrobe department picked out this outfit for him. They go, okay, let's get you in a brand new hat. Well, American flag would be perfect. We'll get you in a flag hat. Let's get you, you always know somebody's being dressed by wardrobe, or when it's phony, when they're wearing various shades of green. Only in commercial television is this scene. For instance, you'll be watching an ad, and there'll be a black guy wearing maroon, green, and more, and it looks fine in the commercial. Somehow. You cannot wear that in real life. That doesn't work. Only on commercials from TV will you see people dressed like this. He's dressed like a wardrobe department, dressed as a Verizon kid.
And he wore that exact same hat in his special.
Yes. This
and
is not his
similar
look.
Greens.
He also is wearing his hat with the bangs coming out. This is a move. This is a move of a sick person. and a lot of people are doing this, and yes, a lot of people are sick. If you see a man over the age of 16 and his bangs come out of his front of his hat, he cannot be trusted. He's a con person. And this is what Logan Paul does. Logan Paul almost invented this move. This is a man. Wait till you see what he looks like with that hat.
I sent you a quick pic in a text so you can visualize the hatless guy.
Wait till you see what he really looks like. Like this. Like a 60-year-old older man. He's got almost a Costanza at times. He's one of these guys.
That picture is crazy.
No,
this one.
Here, look at this. I mean, so for him to grow out his bangs so that they come out of the hat, you're imagining his forehead is about this tall. It's a cranium. This is something, this is insane. This like holds Eminem's vocabulary of rhymes. That's a cranium. That is a giant head. So now he's going for this new look. This is an old man who's been at this for a long time. And now, here, wait till you see the thumbnail of Rogan. This is what he's going for now. Cute little Pete from down the street. He's just a cute kid.
Okay,
this is a 60-year-old guy.
Go back to my note.
So this is a con.
Scroll to the bottom and click that New York Post article. Look at the pictures of him.
Let's see this.
You don't have to read it and spoil it because we'll get to it later.
Tyler Cameron Fischer claims he was rejected from an agency for being white.
But we'll talk about that in a sec.
I'm trying to get out of here. I'm getting hit by ad after ad. Continuous mic. Get away from me. Google is being aggressive lately with this sign in. I don't want to sign in to the web browser. Stop. Every time. Could we ask your location? I said no to the location. Get it out of your head. Every day.
It's true.
Well, the location? Did you sign in? Leave me alone, AI browser now. You know, the first 10 results are just an AI joke. That's nice. That's really beneficial to the world. Thank you for doing this, Google.
But just scroll
and
down.
by the way, did you know Google CEO is the guy who bombed Ariana Grande's concert in Muhammad? That's who we're allowing with. I couldn't believe it. I go, who's Google's CEO? Like, we know Elon Musk, we know Zuckerberg, we know Jack Dorsey, we know all the guys. Why isn't the Google CEO? Because Google's like, they are shaping our world right now. We're all using this damn browser still. We should be using Bing. But we're all using this browser, and they could just shape our reality any way they want by these search results. And we're just reading it up. I caught myself, I was reading an AI, a joke from a robot as the answer. And I was just, oh, yeah, that's what happened. She goes, that's a AI description of what they think it is. I go, well, that shouldn't be on top. Shouldn't be the first thing. I like a sponsored. I read a sponsored.
Because it says,
I like to click on only the sponsored results in Google, because at least I know that person is putting some money out there.
Under the Google AI thing, it says Google AI is experimental.
Yeah, that's what it says
And
now. Google AI is experimental.
It's like,
get it to the bottom then. Put it on page 90. Put it on a different page. Because guess what? If I'm reading that, so is everybody else. And they're all just going to believe it. And then it's going to travel like light through the internet, causing harm.
Sorry about these ads.
Okay, so
but just
what am
keep
I doing?
Scrolling down until you see these pics of him. That's all.
Yeah, I saw these in the...
Look at that.
Look at this guy. He's gone through many looks. Oh, he's doing it here, though, with the hat, where he's putting the bang under the hat. No. If you're bald, you can't have a persona with a hat where you're not bald. We must know where your forehead lie at all times. So when you're bald, you have to wear the hat. This needs to be white skin right here. You get it? That needs to be bald. So that when I look at you, I go, oh, that's an older, shitty guy. Because how he's lost his hair. He must be pathetic. He must be shit. That's what I need to know. Because at your age, the thinning, just shave it all off. But to pretend you have a full head of boy's hair like in this Rogan thumbnail, I mean, that is just con number one. I'm going to say this. I think this Tyler Fischer, who we're about to show you, has been lying through his entire life. I think he's lying in plain sight now. And He's making a lot of money off of it. This is the discovery of Tyler. No, we don't really have any of that. It's really not that big of a deal. You got to see this guy, though. He's fucking crazy. He sucks so much. He's terrible. And I think all the Rogan fans hate him, too. I'm going to introduce...
All the YouTube comments are like, this guy is amazing. He's hilarious. He rules.
Oh, really? I saw a lot of hate in the YouTube comments.
Oh, really?
Oh, you always got to sort by new. Those top comments are corrupt.
But the top
top comments are corrupt.
They're still
on YouTube.
commenting that.
Oh, well, there's a lot of psychos out there. A lot of psychos. You got to always short by new, because the people who watch minute one, those people are crazy. You know, you can't watch Joe Rogan minute one. If you're there minute one, that's psycho. Or accidental. Could be accidental. Tyler Fischer, I want you to see him the way I've seen him. This guy is something else. And I actually fear him a little bit. Like I would a leprechaun. Really? I'm not trying to make a joke. The same fear I have for a leprechaun.
Joe Rogan podcast by night.
And that's not a height or green joke.
Oh, hey, Joe Rogan.
What's going on?
Is there a left or right here, or does it matter?
No, it's all mono.
I can't believe that. Is that a left or right here? He's talking about the headphones. It's all mono. Oh, Joe Rogan admits mono. Joe Rogan shoots his show in mono. Did you hear that?
Hey, Joe Rogan.
What's going on?
Is there a left or right here, or does it matter?
No, it's all mono. What's cracking, brother?
It's all mono. You're shooting your show in mono?
It just means it's mono y mono.
Well, he could.
In this interview.
I think his show is in mono. You know, typically AM radio is shot in mono. But you don't need to do that anymore. And it used to be costly. You know, when computers weren't what they are now, recording in stereo was harder. You had to have twice the things. That's a thing of the past now. We're broadcasting in stereo. We're streaming in stereo. Joe Rogan's show. I did not know this. No wonder it sounds so pleasant. It's in mono.
Wow. That's a trick.
So it almost is a trick, because it's kind of lulling you in a way. That's why his show, I think, might work. Try switching your shows. If you're a podcaster, put your show in mono for a month. See if those numbers go up. I might go all mono. Not. That's insane. To deprive someone of stereo when it's as easy as not having it, it's like taking the color out of something. To do black and white, it's just as douchey. Joe doesn't even know that. He just thinks, oh, yeah, you do mono for podcasts. Okay. Piece of shit.
Joe Rogan.
What's going on?
Is there a left or right here, or does it matter?
No, it's all mono. What's cracking, brother?
Oh, yeah. Let me just get a little confidence here. I'm so small, this is like a large coffee to me.
Okay, whoa. Our first alarm. I'm so small, this is like a regular cup of coffee to me, and he's drinking out of a little thermos top. And he says this. Listen to this nonsense.
I'm so small, this is like a large coffee to me.
So is Joe is he pulling some shit about my fucking height? I've never, because it's unheard of.
He probably feels amazing right now.
Look how big Joe is compared to this guy. This is great. And it was so great to start the show this way. I wish everyone would announce a general idea of what their height is before starting as a guest. Then I go, oh, boy. So it turns out he's about 4'4". I don't know. And I really don't care. But you need to hear how he talks about himself. I've never seen a shouty. You know, like Joe Rogan is 2'1", 3'3". They put it in the skyrocket. And every time you see Joe Rogan, you're like, that is a straight up midget. Like, his muscles are like this big. It's like, okay, yeah, if a little tiny fucking baby maybe had a bunch of muscles too. Who cares? You know, and you think you're afraid of him, taekwondo-wise? Just grab his arm. You could overpower. I could overpower. His arm is like a baby doll to a regular person. You have to see it in person to believe it, which I haven't. So, but that's what I think of him. So for this guy to be so much smaller than Rogan, like, look at that.
That's crazy.
Look how much smaller he is than Rogan. And it really caught me by surprise. I really wouldn't even care. And I don't care about the height, although it's creepy. Wait till you see how he refers to himself and his height throughout this experiment here that we're doing with him, a discovery. because I've never seen somebody talk about it this way. And the way he talks, I mean, really, this guy, I'm really scared of him. I can't wait to find out what he's all about. Watch this.
Zero. I'm so small. This is like a large coffee to me.
They'll make you pee. They'll make you pee. That's one thing Nespressos
I'm
do.
peeing right now, dude. I'm just going to do the Biden. Just let it out.
Ari peed
What?
in that seat 3 or 4 times yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah, he pissed into Bud Light cans.
Okay, Joe, you got to rephrase it then. He didn't piss in the seat. So he says to this little kid who just sat down in the seat, he's like, what's up, Joe? Ari pissed in that seat like 8 times yesterday. This seat? Yeah, he peed in a can in that seat. Okay, so he didn't pee on the seat. You can't say it that way. And he never clears it up. I'm clearing
But
this up.
technically, he was sitting on the seat and doing the act of peeing.
Of course,
so
that's-
he's
yeah.
peeing on the seat.
I know, but you know, when you think of a piss-filled cushion when you think of that. And look at his face. That's not the face you make when you're like, he peed into a bottle in this room. No, that's the face of, I'm sitting in pee. Yeah. And Joe never clears this up. I'm clearing this up. Watch this.
Just going to do the Biden. Just let it out.
Ari peed in that seat 3 or 4 times yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah, he pissed into Bud Light cans. He's so disgusting.
Ari Shaffir?
Oh, yeah, every time he's here.
If it's so bad, you grab him by the throat if you're so strong and you push him into the bathroom. But you allow him to piss in front of you. It's disgusting. Shame on all of
And
you.
he's probably cutting the tip of his dick with like the edge of the Bud Light.
He doesn't. His
hole,
dick is
but
all
he's
cut up.
smiling
And he's got
loving cutting.
gigantitis. Did you see when he showed his balls on Kill Tony? He has ginormositis or whatever that is.
He can't even
Anelophitis.
pee without being sliced.
It's disgusting. Put Ari in a Jewish cemetery and end it already. Bury him up to his neck. Take out the mower.
Bud Light cans. He's so disgusting.
Ari Shaffir?
Oh, yeah, every time he's here.
Oh, I didn't know he's here.
He pees into things.
I'm trying to get him to move here.
He's not going to. He's a New York rat.
Yeah.
But he's here all the
This
time.
is another alarm that went off for me personally. He's wanting you to think that he's buddies with Ari Shaffir, and maybe Ari Shaffir is nice to him. This is not a guy who's part of the New York comedy scene. But he wants you, oh yeah, me and Ari. I would have asked him. Oh yeah, you're friends with Ari? So Ari, you're such a dingbat that you're like, he's cool. And you give him attention. The reason Big J and all these people, no one talks to him is because he's a psycho. But of course, Ari Shaffir. Hey, bro. Yeah. Right? Is that what I'm getting from this? And then you're going to bring up that you know Ari Shaffir to kind of
and
universe.
Joe kind of gets annoyed because he's like, well, I know Ari better.
Watch this. Watch how it goes on.
Ari Shaffir?
Oh, yeah, every time he's here.
Oh, I didn't know he's here.
He pees into things.
I'm trying to get him to move here.
He's not going to. He's a New York rat.
Yeah.
But he's here all the time. I mean, he might as well live here. He's here like 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, just
good enough.
mean, it's good enough.
He should move here.
He's so funny, man. I love watching him at the Comedy Cellar.
Does anyone get anything weird? And by the way, now that you're imagining him so fucking small. Yeah, I love watching him at New York City's Comedy Cellar. So why did he say it like this? And by the way, this little boy Christopher shtick that he's got going on, I've never seen anything like it. This is little Christopher Robin. He's from a storybook, you see. I mean, you look like you're from Winnie the Pooh. You look like a Disney drawing kid. I can't believe you went full kid. Even with this big mustache, similar to mine, which I insist you...
Why?
You have a week to get rid of this mustache, by the way. You have a week to get rid of that mustache. Even with this giant mustache, I'm looking at a very young animated kid. I don't like that. I don't like the green on green. I don't know who got you this costume. I don't like this hat where it's like, this is what like a guy would do if he was like a really slick con man and there was a movie scene where he's walking in his regular clothes and right before he does the con, he just pulls the hat off the rack of a stand and puts it on and then moves forward and completes the con because you're so good at it. It looks like you picked this hat up on the way to Rogan. You were at like the gas station and you're like, yeah, 6 on 10, please, or whatever the fuck those people who pay cash say. I don't know what that means. It's like a gambling thing. Yeah, 6 on 9, please. Oh, and one of these. And then straight to Rogan. I'm here for you. That vaccine, huh? How about that vaccine? What about Biden?
Why does he even want to look like a little kid? Don't conservatives like an older man?
I know,
who's
yes. They're trying
a little.
I don't know. And he's got a
disgruntled
dainty. Look at this
guy.
dainty women's. Like, you know who has a watch like this? AB from H3. AB Schlockerschlor from ISIS. That kid's from fucking ISIS, you know. That's what he's doing. He's an undercover Assadist studying the Kleins.
And then there'll be a video.
He's
of
going to
AB
behead the
being
Klein.
like,
Yes. Ethan, this is a
Christ.
warning. Ethan and Hila, you must understand. AB will behead you. And then Lena will eat your heart as they put up a video and then fly back to Assad or whatever that is.
And then there'll be a video of
Yes.
AB being like, Redbar is racist. And
Yes.
I could be like, what?
Damn you, AB. We must stop AB from H3. Okay, watch him as I discovered him. And then we're going to show you some choice Tyler stuff, if that is his real name. Oh, what a great little... And he's perfect. He's almost, I would almost go as far as he's talented. But he's horrible. Watch this. Come on, Tyler.
Because he's one of the guys that just fucking goes for it.
Yeah, he definitely goes for it. It's gotten him in a lot of trouble.
It all comes out in the wash, though, right?
Well, if you're talented, yeah. And
Yeah.
and he's definitely talented. He's just a wild boy.
I watch the crowd when he's on because I like to see the crowd just slowly kind of.
Go, what
He's
the
working
fuck?
through stuff. He gets
Yeah.
messy. I like that.
Yeah.
They put me and him on at the late shows now.
In the
I think.
cellar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
What
comedy
is
cellar.
what is New York scene like these days?
Well, I'm here.
You weren't really a part of that scene, huh? Lewis, you know this guy? Gomez is basically the Bayer of New York comedy, the low-life scene. And you would definitely be in that version of it. At the very least.
His
So,
eyes
has he
are
been on
like
Legion of Skanks? Has he
black
been doing that
dots.
stuff? Who moves from New York City to Austin is a crazy move, by the way. That's crazy. Why? And Shane did that to be on Rogan, you see, and it worked. So these guys are only moving because if you go on Rogan, you can't just move there and not do Rogan and be famous. You move to Austin without the Rogan part of it, none of that's happening. So you're only moving from New York to Austin. You'd only leave that city if you had a Rogan connection or you went to seek out Rogan. Now, Rogan buys everything. Rogan thought Terryology's 1 × 1 should equal 2. Concept was valid. He fell for that. The part that's easiest to explain about why Terry is so crazy, the 1 × 1 = 2 thing. Joe Rogan goes, wow, never thought of it like that. We got to tell people about this. So Tyler Cameron, Joe Rogan is being, talk about Biden, talk about elderly abuse. Joe Rogan is being conned by so many grifters, and he can't smell it out at all. He's let this guy into the mothership. This guy, his special just came out. It's at the mothership. He's there every night. Wait till you hear what he did in the green room. And I think Joe's finally realizing, whoa, this guy's like a complete fraud. What have I done? What do I do? Let's see.
You can go ahead.
He's working
Yeah.
through stuff. He gets messy. I
Whoa.
like that.
Yeah.
3200. There we go. All right, let's see what this one is. 32. Okay. That's just
The
good.
first part, they all talk about how woke stuff sucks. You can picture it.
And it's like day one stuff. Bud Light, can you believe it? Now, what were they thinking? Really? And it's all just like, he doesn't really care. He's just, all right, this is a good one. Let's start here. 32 minutes in.
Called like a far right Trump supporter. I go, okay, we've never done this before.
What was your decision? Why'd you decide not to take it?
Well, I'm not getting something. First of all, it wouldn't have been made that. Trump's really good at pushing things through regulations very fast. If we had any other president, there's no way That's what warp speed. You remember warp speed, Joe, right? Nobody can do that.
Yeah.
We call it warp speed.
Okay, this is our first, maybe 7th impression. Yep. He impersonates all the presidents and more. Wait till you hear Tyler's impressions. Joe doesn't like when he's trying to have a real conversation and then a comedian busts out in a bit or an impression. Joe is powering through this. Now, this happens about 90 times on the show. Tyler does not take the hint. We'll show you moments coming up where Joe is visibly gripping the chair, wanting to kill him because of these corny impressions, but he doesn't stop. This is the first one you'll see here tonight on Redbar.
Really good at pushing things through regulations very fast. If we had any other president, there's no way. That's what warp speed. You remember warp speed, Joe, right? Nobody can do that.
Yeah.
We call it warp
Trump.
speed. Edison couldn't do it with lightning speed,
Trump.
but I did warp speed. I made it. They said, sure, it'll take 15 years. I made it in 2 days. He's bragging about how quick he did it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to fucking get
Joe's
that.
sick
I'm
to
young,
his
I'm
stomach
healthy.
right now.
I had COVID. I had natural immunity. I was doing what everybody has done throughout history.
Right. You already had COVID,
was
which is really important.
Yeah, so why risk that?
And what was the what version of COVID did you have? The earliest one?
I had the OG, the original.
And how bad was it for you?
It was like I get the flu every year. I'm tiny. I'm a sickly person.
I'm tiny, so our second small thing. And this is being said to a tiny guy who doesn't say he's tiny out loud. When's the last, you ever heard Joe go, I'm really tiny, I'm really small? No. He refuses to believe that. Historical fact.
He's loving that this guy's tiny. I've never seen him smile like that.
And this guy keeps mentioning how tiny and miniature he is. Wait till you hear the stories he tells about the spaces he can get into because he's so small. It's reminiscent of when George Janko did that cope about how I like being small. And then he went on a list. He's like, I could run under ladders easier. I don't have to have that deep of a pool installed. I could get a 3-foot deep pool. It feels like a 6-foot deep pool. That save half the money. There's a lot of reason. I actually prefer being small. That's kind of like this. We're getting that again, but over and over again. And it starts disturbing Joe.
The OG, the original.
And how bad was it for you?
It was like I get the flu every year. I'm tiny. I'm a sickly person. You know, I'm allergic to fucking cigarettes. Can I get one of those fucking?
I'm allergic to cigarette smoke, he says. I'm a tiny, sickly person. I'm even allergic to cigarette smoke. And then says, can I get one of those? One of these. A full, giant, tobacco-packed, to the point where even a cigarette smoker, a daily cigarette smoker, this could make them puke. He's allergic to cigarette smoke. Can I have one of those? Now, I don't get this. Maybe it's a bit. Let's find out.
Person.
This is falling
You know?
apart. This was not
I'm
kept
allergic
right.
to fucking cigarettes. Can I get one of those fucking things?
Here,
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
get you
Why not?
one of these.
I quit smoking when I was 12, but
But you smoke a cigar?
I started when I was 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 10 to 21. I smoked for 11 years.
Nice.
This cigar
So
is
let's
not,
start now.
not at the proper humidity. I told you it's dry in here. Watch. Well, that's about it. But you saw all that, huh? That's actually a technique called peeling away. It's kind of like cutting away on a dry-aged piece of meat. Only a fool doesn't blow half the leaf off their cigar to get to the inner core, which has been protected perfectly. No need for a humidifier. Humidifier is actually putting mold on the outside. This way, the inside has preserved moisture from all of the layers of dead leaf. You blow it off and you smoke it. It's a luxury experience. That's a tip. I'm even allergic to cigarette smoke. Can I get one of the... And he does a George Bush impression, and that's like his main base. He's almost George Bush in a way. So think of him as a mini Bush.
Yeah, 10 to 21. I smoked for 11 years.
Nice.
So let's start now.
Sorry, I would have invited
No,
you.
it's fine. It's fine. I just, goddamn.
How did I know that you had quit cigarettes?
How did I know that you had quit cigarettes? And Joe seems kind of disturbed. He says he's allergic to cigarette smoking. And then he's going, it's fine, it's fine. He's making this face. And then he says this.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just, goddamn.
How did I know that you had quit cigarettes?
How did I know that you would quit cigarettes? Now listen to his answer. I find this to be very interesting. I know this seems very petty. Listen to his answer.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just, goddamn.
How did I know that you had quit cigarettes?
No, you wouldn't know that.
And he kind of goes, nah, you wouldn't know that. Okay, this is, what am I getting to here?
Damn.
How did I know that you had quit cigarettes?
No, you wouldn't know that.
I think somebody brought it up.
Well, I put up a sign when I was filming the special that, like a no smoking sign.
Excuse me? How did I know that you had quit smoking? Where did I hear that? Somebody was telling me that. No, it's probably nothing. Oh, well, I did put up a no smoking sign in your green room. So you probably walked in one night and goes, no smoking? What the fuck? Imagine Joe Rogan coming into his own green room to light up a cigar. Oh, sorry, Joe. And then they point to the sign, no smoking. Imagine Joe. Who put that up? Tyler Fischer. He says he's allergic to cigarette smoke, so there's no smoking in the green room all weekend. What the fuck? All right, whatever.
They were probably
But
all talking about
They were
it.
all talking about it. Now listen to this, knowing all this. Watch this. As Tyler asks for a cigar after he made Joe Rogan a no-smoking environment in his own green room for a month. At the least, because Tyler has been shooting his special every fucking day over there. Watch this now.
I would have invited
No,
you.
it's fine. It's fine. It's just, goddamn.
How did I know that you had quit cigarettes?
No, you wouldn't know that.
I think somebody brought it up.
Why?
Well, I put up a sign when I was filming the special that, like a no smoking sign.
Pull that down.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
A no smoking sign?
Like a Marx Brother when I fucking... Well, when I filmed the special last week and we were live editing it. So I put up a no smoking
You
sign.
hear that? Mm-hmm. Explain. Oh, yeah. Why did you put up the no smoking sign? Because that ruined my month. Mm-hmm. Explain it.
When I filmed the special last week and we were live editing it. So I put up a no smoking sign in the green room because I had all this camera crew and stuff in there.
Oh.
What do you hit this thing?
The other side? The top that's
And
flipped?
How does this add up? The camera crew's downstairs. They're filming your... Look at Joe's face now, by the way. Look how fucking upset he is. This is what you let in, by the way, Joe. You let in these fools, and then you get mad at them when you realize how terrible they are, like Brian Callen. This is the face you make at Callen every day. I can't believe I know you. I can't believe I have to keep letting you on this fight companion. Otherwise, it'll look... I'm doing this for you, so you don't look like a complete rapist who was abandoned by even me. But this is the look he gives Callen. This disgusting look like he's disappointed in himself. Tyler Cameron's excuse for the no smoking sign that ruined... Imagine someone doing this. Like, I can't imagine if somebody did something without asking me. To put up a sign in someone else's green room in their club without asking anybody? Joe Rogan comes in. So no wonder they were talking about you quitting smoking, because that's the lie you told for this no smoking sign. And now you're telling Joe, because you just asked for a cigar after banning smoking in his club, and then you say this?
Sign in the green room because I had all this camera crew and stuff in there.
He's waiting for more.
What do you hit this thing?
The other side.
And then he's asking, how do you light a cigar? Like this? Do I just break it in half? Is there a string that you pull that gets it going? And Joe's saying, you light it, you put it in your fucking mouth and light it. Just kidding. Watch this, he's getting aggravated because it's like, you ban smoking. Now you want one of my cigars. You don't even know how to light it. You're allergic to smoking, apparently. The cameraman, what? How do you do this?
What do you hit this thing?
The other side. The top that's flipped the way
The
I
other
handed it
side?
to you, turn it towards you.
The
turn
other
towards
side?
You. No.
It's not what you say to a person that you like. You go, oh, yeah, the other side. You go, the other side? Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other side. He hates him now, and now he's got to pretend that he likes him for hours, and he forgets that he hates them because he's so stupid.
No,
Watch it.
he mostly hates him all the way through.
Okay, good.
You see that? That's the top.
Right there?
And you pulled that thing down.
Okay.
That's it. There you go. But you got it backwards. You should do it the other way so you can see what you're doing.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I was good at this when I was 12.
I was good at this when I was 12. Listen to this cockamamie story. Look at him. And this is to scale size. When you put Joey Diaz on the screen, he's bigger than me on Rogan. Those cameras don't move. So this is to scale. If we were sitting in a room, this is what it would look like. This is a ventriloquist-sized person. The ventriloquist.
He would be a good puppet for you. You guys.
I would love to rent him as a puppet. I'll pay his fee. $31,000 an hour. How about that? You could probably, if you offer this guy 10 grand, he'll like kill someone for you.
That's how much a bona fide New York comic costs.
Yep. He needs that steak money.
Yeah, there you go. This is a
Oh, I
comedy
was
of
good at
errors.
this when I was
12.
Where?
Oh, yeah.
Watch.
I used to steal cigars. I was in like a skateboard gang, and I was so small they'd send me under the counter.
Again, this part, I start going, okay, what am I dealing with here? This is like Rumpelstiltskin. This is right-wing Stiltskin. This is getting weird. I was so small. Yes, when I was a child, I was in a cigar gang. I was so small, they'd throw me right under the counter. The salesperson would think maybe a mouse ran by. He wouldn't think twice because I was the size of a butterfly. I would just reach down and take the cigars right in front of him. Listen to this guy talk about his tininess again.
This is a comedy
Oh, I was
of
good at
errors.
this when I was 12.
Where?
Oh, yeah. I used to steal cigars. I was in like a skateboard gang, and I was so small they'd send me under the counter.
What the fuck?
And I would steal like thousands of dollars of cigars.
Under counters?
Yeah, I'd sneak under the counter of a drugstore.
Oh, God.
Because I was so
Okay,
small.
there's like an inch. Have you ever seen the pharmacy? They got that shit. I like to think he's talking about like the small amount of space.
Like a mouse hole.
Yeah. I go right under if there was just even a crack in that wall.
I mean, maybe one time you grabbed one cigar, but you're not sneaking.
Yeah, I know,
in
you're
to
still a
steal
person.
Thousands of dollars.
You don't
worth
have the
cigars
body
when
of
you
a
were
cat.
12, when
Yeah,
you're
it's not.
12.
He's acting like he's got the body of like a ferret, and he's just sliding through just unbelievable thin things. You've seen that with a cat? A cat could get through a thing this wide. It's an inch. A full-grown cat could get through a thing that's an inch. I've seen it. They go right through. And you go, what's to a cat? What's to a cat? That's just a lot of hair.
Under counters?
Yeah, I'd sneak under the counter of a drugstore.
Oh, God.
Because I was so small. And then I'd come out
And
with...
think about how high it would need to be for you as a kid to sneak under the counter of a drugstore. I mean, it would really have to be at least, I don't know, 2.5 feet high. Now, I'm trying to picture this counter of a drugstore where it's got that much. Like when I would go to the drugstore, like White Hen Pantry, 7-Eleven, it's a wall counter. There's not a space under it where I see the man's feet. It's just a full wall, and there's usually like candy bars all the way down to the floor. Where are you sneaking? Under the counter. Oh, yeah, just go right under the counter of the sales desk. Those counters usually go flush with the floor. Show me a counter that doesn't. At a
and we
store.
would sell them on the street.
Your gang sold stolen cigars?
Stolen cigars, and we grew weed in my backyard. Yeah. It was a gang. I mean,
Whenever somebody starts offering up rapid fire amazing stories from their childhood all the time, they're up to something. They're creating tall tales. These are fables. This is Josh Denny. He's rattling off, 40 years. He's a 40-year-old man rattling off day after day of his childhood. He's got it all memorized perfectly, and it was all incredible. Could have been a movie.
somebody stole our weed once. We went and flipped their car over and burnt it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what someone says when they're so sick of
And
hearing your
Joe
lies.
just had to go through the Harlan thing where Harlan was
Yeah.
being purposeful.
Yes, where Harlan was purposely
lie
saying
bits
shit like
to
this.
troll him, and Joe's probably seen people
Confused.
talking about that, so now he kind of wants to laugh. He's not sure if maybe this guy.
Yeah, is doing a bit, but he's not. Tyler Cameron does lie story. Tyler Cameron, Jesus Christ. Sorry, Tyler Cameron.
And I know this because he mixes them in with his real story later on. So he's not doing like a
Oh,
fake,
yeah. No, you'll see.
goofy
No.
Harlan thing to do.
No, we've seen enough. I've seen enough to paint this guy in a very bad light. I've seen enough. Now watch this.
Once we went and flipped their car over and burnt it.
Wow.
Yeah.
He flipped a car over. The tiny kid. They used him. He went right into the gas tank and put the detonator in there. They flipped the car and burned it. Do you believe that he was in a cigar gang? They sold cigars. Now, where are you selling the cigars? The other kids? Oh, this is a fine cigar. Thank you. Here's 30 cents. Because I'm also a child. And then you're flipping their car. You're flipping somebody's car and burning it. Were you a child or not? You were so small you could fit under the crack of a counter. And then you stole thousands of dollars worth of cigars, so you must have had some high-end clients if you made a profit on that. You know what I mean? Thousands of dollars is too much for the other kids, and why would the kids want with cigars? You would steal cigarettes. That makes sense. You could sell that at school. Cigars, you would have to find like a 40-year-old man and be like, interested in some cigars? And he'd be like, what do you kids care? Look at this. And then you open up. Not so fast. You have the cash? Well, yeah, I'm 45. What do you want? $10. Here. Is that how you got your clientele? How did you move all the stolen cigars enough to where it ended up in this firefight where you flipped a car and burned it? This is
The
Danny.
backyard.
Listen.
And then I'd come out with, and we would sell them on the street.
Your gang sold stolen cigars?
Stolen cigars, and we grew weed in my backyard.
Oh,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
weed
It was
now.
it was a gang. I mean,
real gang.
somebody stole our weed once. We went and flipped their car over and burnt it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, for stealing the weed?
Jesus.
Wow.
yeah. So that's the privilege of growing up in Connecticut. It was a privilege.
What part of Connecticut?
New Haven. I lived in New
Okay, I know New Haven.
It's called Gun Blazing.
The pizza capital of the world. Ooh. What's the worst thing that could happen? A little flop on a rainy day? You got the best pizza in the world. I've been there 100 times through Dave Portney, of course. I have been to New Haven, Connecticut more times than I would have liked to see New Haven, Connecticut. Believe me, I feel like I lived there. And doesn't Saison Z live there? It's fine. It's a dump. Really, that East Coast stuff, like Queens, New Connecticut. Oh, God, is it ugly. Burn it down. You ever been to the West? I'm with Kendrick. This West Coast is way better, man. Think about all the rappers are way cooler here, right? All the guys in New York turned out to be rapists, pedophiles, frauds. Look, really, thank God. Biggie died. Biggie would have been in the pedophile P. Diddy ring. The P. Diddy's got about 1,000 charges of the craziest charges you've ever heard. Think about the East Coast. Drake, P. Diddy, Jay-Z, who's involved in P. Diddy, Beyonce, the king of New York, Alicia Keys. I mean, really, it's a bunch of bums. Think about the West Coast. They've all really lived through it all. And Dr. Dre came out at Kendrick's concert with the I See Dead People line. It was
electric.
I almost went out and bought a beat by Dre for that. He was
I
so
know
cute.
that there's a ton of people who are like, "Oh, this
And
is
Dre?
so gay. Oh, Kendrick's
No.
gay too." But I
That's
love him.
crazy.
Sorry.
No, only a complete Drake psycho would say that. And anybody, we're from the West, and come out here, see what happens.
The West is the best.
Except for L.A., of course.
California.
Except for California. Well, I guess Kendrick and all those guys are from L.A. Okay. By the way, I was invited to that We Not Like Us Day. But I had to paint my face maroon in order. He said, if you want to be on camera, you got to paint your face dark maroon. And that's how you get out of doing blackface. But on tape, if I'm in a crowd, I look like a black guy. But then if someone sees me, they're like, what the fuck you doing? Oh, yeah, that's just maroon. Perfectly fine. This is a dark maroon. See the red hue? Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I bring a daylight light to really show people the color. Okay. I was in that video, though. Check it out. I'm dancing like a maniac. After the second time, though, I was like, do the other songs. I didn't get it. I don't get the tradition either. And I'm against Kendrick now. Watch this.
Well, you're so privileged. It was, you know,
New Haven's a sketchy place.
sketchy. Yeah,
You
we
can
were
go to
gunshots every
35,
night.
30
Every
So
now.
it's lie after lie. It's child story. It's just like Tony in his made-up tales. By the way, people with real stories, you stop telling them by the time you're 40. You've told them to death. I have amazing tales. I told them once, I'm sick of telling them. To tell these stories over and over again, it just seems like this is a good one that I know people, well, it does something here. I've got this story all planned out. Comedians are the best at that because that's what they do for a living. They tell the same shitty story over. And I could tell you a story once, it'll be 10 years before I even bring up a piece of it again. For the most part. What's our next time?
35:30.
35:30. And Joe's doing a lot of looking up. When he's looking up, if you ever see me look up like this, it means, what do I do? What do I do? Joe Rogan's constantly looking up. This is his tell whenever he's fake talking to somebody. Look at the size comparison between us. Because the hat is almost the same size. So this is a fair to scale. I know I just cut myself off to show you this. I couldn't believe it when I looked in the monitor. And that is his real size. He's kept on a stool. He is kept in a cage. It really, it makes it way creepier that you're this size and you keep telling tales. I grew up, I lived inside the trunk of a tree. I was so small. I actually lived. They made the Keebler elf idea, got the idea from my family who burrowed in a tree. We were so small. You watch.
All actual quotes from George Bush and his administration, the whole thing. And it's fucking amazing.
Here we go.
Really?
When he brings up someone, he does the impression, if it's a political figure or somebody from, that has been done to death. If it's an impression of somebody that's been done to death by every man and woman and child, he's the king of it, and he will bring it in. It's never going to be an impression of anybody that we haven't heard being impersonated. Are you ready for his Bush? I'm ready for his. I like a Bush. I like these impressions, by the way. As far as, like, this is something like Tim Heidecker would do to, as if he was mocking an impressionist. Watch this. Bush.
And his administration, the whole thing. And it's fucking amazing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. The war on terror, which weapons of mass destruction, all the whole.
So you're just saying his catchphrases from impressions over time. The war on terror, weapons of mass destruction.
Sounds like you're doing Jeff to me.
Yeah, wow. Jeff sounds a lot like George Bush. I hope that doesn't offend Jeff. Nothing but respect. Weapons of mass destruction. Yeah. Jeff could be one of the Bush kids. Jeff Wittick. So watch this. He starts doing a Bush.
Yeah, the war on terror. Weapons of mass destruction. All the way they, it was almost like the pandemic, the way they scared people.
Pandemic?
Weapons of mass destruction. We got to take them out. We got to do what we got to do. And we went in there. And what came of that?
Yeah.
Biden pulling out, leaving billions of dollars of...
Oh my God. The fool's butane. It's never been done. So while he's kind of flailing in this, because Joe won't really, like, if you're having a regular, Joe gets tricked easily. He's like, okay, finally, I'm having a real conversation. He forgets that people are going to pull this shit. And when you do, he's going to leave you hanging. And when he left him hanging, you hear, shh, the sound of the loudest, he's holding the biggest butane torch I've ever seen. Trump. A perfect Trump. Listen to this again.
Biden pulling out, leaving billions of dollars of...
shit behind, yeah. Mm-hmm. If you just compared Biden to George Bush, George Bush looks like a fucking
so
Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah,
that's
Shakespeare.
crazy. We thought that he was an idiot.
Wait, go back.
When he
Okay,
pulls
watch the way this to me is cinema. The way
Watch
that
this.
his shitty lighter job lights up Joe's annoyed
Yeah,
face,
watch
and he
it.
has
You
to
gotta
look
do.
up. He's so.
And we went in
furious.
there. And what came of that?
Yeah.
Biden pulling out, leaving billions of dollars of...
shit behind, yeah. Mm-hmm. If you just compare...
Oh, and there it is. He's looking at the flame.
You can't believe it.
He gonna run through all my dang butane. Joe hates when somebody can't figure out a fucking lighter. He hates it. If you ever meet Rogan, pull one of these. Take a Bic, a classic Bic that a baby can light. We've been lit in this our whole life. And go like this. In front of Joe. Just do this in front of him and see how long he lasts. Go, what the fuck? How do you... Do you know how to use... Hmm? Do this in front of Rogan. And then he's going to look at you like this.
I thought it was a button.
Let's try to...
Button.
Yeah, there's a button here. I've seen them do it like this. You do it with your thumb. No. You hit this. And this at the same time. This. And we could get him to physically harm somebody. Get him. How about this? Let's try to get Joe to physically assault you. We'll sue him for $10 billion. We'll split it.
All it takes is one lighter.
Yes, and then he'll have no excuse. You can't attack someone because they were trying to do a lighter and they just didn't know how. Sorry, they didn't grow up around fire. Okay? They're not pyros.
Compared Biden to George Bush. George Bush looks like a fucking Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah,
That's
Shakespeare.
What's crazy. We thought that he was an idiot.
You could
We
hear
thought,
the butane.
God, it can't. This is such an embarrassment that that guy is the president.
Yeah.
and now look at the two choices we have. You're like, yo, Bush would be like the wise choice at this point.
Okay, go to 42.55.
You know?
And I think you even saw when he hit that butane, Joe lights up a little bit.
Yes,
like the light.
you can totally see it.
Oh, you can see it because I'm maybe sitting too close. Where do you see that flicker?
Just look at his whole face. Oh.
Oh, no. Okay, what was that one?
35:30, but go like 30 seconds after that. Go like 36.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, wait.
Okay. Is this the time? Light it. Light it
I
up.
don't know.
Oh, dear.
No, okay,
Oh,
wait.
dear.
Go to just go to like 30. Go to 35:30.
35:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just
There we
play
go.
it.
All actual quotes from George Bush and his administration.
This
the
could have,
whole
like,
thing.
15 seconds.
And it's fucking... We got to do what we got to do. And we went in there. And what
Okay,
came of that?
Yeah.
Biden pulling out, leaving billions of dollars of...
I'll look at it through here.
Shit behind. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you just
Oh,
compare.
yes, you see him. He lights up. He lights up as if somebody was playing with a camera and the flash went off in his face. Wow, so Joe Rogan is shot in the dark, pretty much. You wouldn't see a lighter. If I lit up a lighter, that's not changing. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, a lighter lights things up. Who would have known? But I do believe he's also shooting in a very dark room, and they're bumping that gain up as high as it goes on that video camera. If you went there in person, you'd be like, oh, this is like chill and dim and nice. Why don't you shoot it like that? And he'll go, oh, yeah, we don't know how. We don't want it to look good. Okay.
Okay, go to 42:55.
42:55.
This one is just an inhale back and forth that I like.
An inhale back and forth. Awkward silence featuring cigar inhales back and forth. That's what the notes say. That's ChatGPT. Let's see.
Possibly a consequence of exposure to military burn pits. Well, those burn pits 100% fuck people up. That's so crazy that they did that too. They had soldiers over there and they had all this waste and they just burned it all. And then so the wind would just blow it right into the camp. So these soldiers are just breathing in toxic chemical waste. Yeah.
Oh.
Yikes. Yeah, what the-
Okay, so see, this guy doesn't really... He only has his stuff. And you're going to see he's going to use tons of jokes from his special in the conversation because he really can't expand on any of this stuff.
He already did at least two. The warp speed Trump thing was in his special, and the Bush impression was in his
both
special.
in his special. So he's doing his special to Rogan on Rogan. Okay? But when he's asked something that's a little off topic that he didn't figure out with the grift, watch this.
Into the camp. So these soldiers are just breathing in toxic chemical waste. Yeah.
This is what he does. He literally doesn't know what to say. And he just goes, let me see if I could do something like this. And Joe's like, what the fuck are you doing? Is this like a Harlan thing? Look at this. Cut to that.
Why?
Look how this goes down. Watch this again.
Breathing in toxic chemical waste. Yeah.
What? I mean, that's like Ace Ventura. Like, you can't have why couldn't you don't know what he's talking about? Because you don't really know that much right-wing stuff.
And this whole time he was just like bringing up some right-wing headline that he read, and then Joe wants to actually start talking about it, and then he doesn't know what to say.
He
so
doesn't know
just goes,
because he only knows the little key points. Look
In
at
toxic chemical waste.
Like, we really need a cartoon. He's a little cartoon boy.
That's just crazy.
I mean, really. And this is AI. This is like an AI mistake where the finger is now part of the mustache. That's an AI artifact that only AI art gets wrong. Floating finger blending into a mustache. That's how fucking bogus this guy is. That he might just be an AI generated vision. Look at that.
Breathing in toxic chemical waste. Yeah.
How did they get out of it? Oh, Joe looks at him with death. After he does, like, Joe does. I hate even making that face. I've never seen myself look that ugly before. See, I wouldn't my face doesn't do faces that are that ugly and stupid. Watch this. He does the face here, and then it cuts back to Rogan. He's so fucking pissed. He's like, not only do you not know what to say, and I'm kind of figuring out that you're just a lying, weird scumbag who's doing his jokes to me and pretending it's a conversation, but you also don't know anything, and then you just did that face, and you're lucky that I don't shoot you full of fucking holes with a rifle. That's how mad he is. Don't you kill him. Just kill him. Kill someone. You got to do it, Joe. I want you to murder someone. You'll get out of it. It's Texas law.
You will.
They love you. Look at this. You've got the flag on your side. King Mohammed, who was also a terrorist. Any Mohammed shit is terror. Terror. The war on terror. Bush. Let's see how it gets out of it.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And then he answered with that. He continues this not knowing what to say.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? And what was his son doing?
Ooh, and now Joe miserably. You know, Joe's kind of professional. Like, he'll never go, okay, do you not know what I'm talking about? Like, he'll never start that. He'll just keep kind of powering through while wearing it on his face. But he's fucking mad.
Yikes.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? And what was his son doing? Or his son was in Kosovo. Was his son serving?
I think so.
Is that what happened?
Jamie, help him. Oh, now Joe takes a giant drag. This is one of the most unpleasant cigar drags he's ever taken.
That's sick. This makes him look like he's bigger than the clouds.
This makes him look like he has a sick,
Godzilla
godlike
size.
mustache. Like a god. That's God's mustache.
That's the best he's ever looked.
So he takes this cigar drag that really could kill Tyler Ferguson or whatever his name is. That should be his last name, Tyler Ferguson. He looks like Ferguson from Clarissa Explains It All. So look at this. And are they going to kind of go back and forth? Just.
Is that what happened?
He takes this drag. Look at this sick drag.
It's amazing how Trump, he looks so young and energized.
And look at the smoke. This is a kid who's allergic to cigarette smoke. He's being enveloped in a cloud. Is that what you would say? He's in a full cloud of smoke. Like Joe blew that smoke and it went and wrapped his head in a dome of smoke.
Compared to Biden now.
Yeah, but
He's
it's
not
just compared
sniffling?
to
Just
Biden.
compared to it.
He was in Kosovo after 1998, 1999 Kosovo War, working on behalf
You can go to
of...
5940.
But so his cameramen, what does this mean? The cameramen are not stationed in the green room. The cameramen are in the showroom where no one's allowed to smoke. And they're in the back of the room. They're on the sides of the room. What does no smoking in the green room have to do with the cameramen? Are they coming up for a nosh? Are they coming up for a drink? Well, they could stand outside. Someone could pass it. They don't need to be your cameramen do not need to be in the green room for any reason. Production in the green room? That doesn't even make sense. How big is this green room? I've seen pictures of it. It holds 7 or 8 people. Very small. So this has never been made clear. He has never cleared up why this no smoking sign was put in the green room. What could that have been for? If he's smoking here, you think this guy cares so much about one it can't be the whole camera group hates cigarette smoke. How long are they going to be in the green room? They should be downstairs filming. They come to the green room for 2 seconds. Okay, maybe one guy is allergic to cigarette smoke. The whole crew? Sorry, you know how cameramen get around smoke. They're fine with smoke. They probably all smoke. So this is still such a bizarre. He put up that sign. Now, was it through a series of lies that he forgot about? What could it have been? I must find out. And then, why were Comics and Joe talking about that he quit smoking and that's why it was up? Remember that? This is a real big mystery with a big hole in it.
Savo after 19...
Okay.
19
what was our code?
You can go to 5940.
5940, and that is... Okay. Joe's annoyance mounts. And we're getting an impression from the man. I'm going to surprise you with it. Okay? You hit enter. We're going to get another impression, and we're going to see Joe getting even madder. I can't wait.
It's not for me. I never said one negative thing about the vaccine or who got it. And goddamn, dude, even in the stand-up scene, I was a far-right, QAnon, all the fucking things.
Yeah.
Horse medicine guy. You know, it's like...
Listen, man, I got it on CNN.
Yeah,
I know it.
yeah.
I know it more than anybody knows it.
Yeah,
I know
love
her
Chris,
as well.
Chris Cuomo would not... did you see the
Yeah.
Dave Smith?
Dude, Dave Smith lit him on fire.
God, he lit him on
Pissed
fire.
on his corpse.
That piece of shit. That clip, actually, I did.
Don't even get me started on Governor Fauci, or whatever that is. Is that next?
Oh, shoot. I think that you want to go to 4940, possibly.
So you could stop at any part of this show. There's something there. There's something everywhere.
Your information before it's encrypted, as you're typing it, before you send it. Everything is going to be transparent. They'll have access to anything they want, anything you have on any device. It doesn't matter what kind of encryption, what kind of bullshit you're using. All that's out the window. And he was explaining that.
Fuck. What about Elon?
Brought to you by the companies that I am hand in hand working with. And I use the money. They give me $200 million a week from the companies that are also making the world terrible, that I hate. Okay, so this is coming. We're getting a nice impression coming up. I can't wait for this one, because this one you don't hear that often, right?
All that's out the window. And he was explaining that.
Fuck. What about Elon's Neurolink chip? Is that, you think people are going to have those?
Yeah.
And they can just go open up, they don't have to say it. It's, you just think it. Open up Google,
That's going to happen. There's going to be versions of that, and it's going to get... But we had...
We're getting an Elon,
what's
by the
Nolan's
way.
last name? Say it again.
Arbaugh.
Arbaugh. You say it the right way? Arbach? Or
Arbaugh.
Arbaugh. He's the first Neuralink patient. We had him in the other day. And I think the
Excuse
episode
me?
comes out
Wait,
today.
there's a Neuralink patient?
Yeah, the guy in the wheelchair, remember?
Oh my gosh.
Or the-
This has gone too far. I didn't know that was an actual Neuralink. And Joe's involved in this?
That man is completely dead, and his brain is just controlled by Elon.
That's insane. That's really scary. And Joe's involved. He's like how he was involved in Alpha Brain. Now he's involved in Neuralink.
Get
That's
this
scary.
guy out of our heads.
Look at the studies from Alpha Brain. They're in the people on it might have to close. They're doing so bad right now. Really, the health food stores you go, this on it is from 6 years ago. They go, we can't sell it. Nobody buys it. No one knows what it is even. For what? Giant premium? Joe Rogan doesn't even promote it. So it's sitting at Vitamin Shop, GNC. You pick up a thing. It's supposed to be powder, right? You open up, it's a block. It's been sitting on the shelves for months. This on it's in trouble. Let me just... Ooh, my throat is raw.
Okay? Yeah, it's out now. And yeah, he's the first guy
Oh my
to get
God.
the Neuralink. And
Does
so
he
was
sound like
paralyzed.
Elon? He's like, it's working pretty well.
It's very, very smart.
Elon.
Working pretty well.
Very smart, very interesting person to talk to. Completely paralyzed from the neck down, except for a few movements in his hands.
So
and,
just
like,
sick
Does
of
he
these
do more?
impressions.
Spinal cord.
Okay, so he did
He's
a nice
sick of
Elon.
him.
So Elon is... And Joe gives him nothing. Joe just powers through, now pretending he's not hearing this shit when it's really aggravating him. All right, what's our next go there?
Finally,
I got to
Joe-
take one of these vocal E's. Which, by the way, talk about a weird product from another time. I mean, have anyone ever seen something like this? Look at this. This is what I'm on. I don't know where this is from. The box came like this. This is how it comes new.
Why don't you scan
Creases.
it?
Oh, fuck. I'm scanning it. Now, these seem to work. All these other vocal products, it's nothing. It's like shooting water into your heart. I might have a strep throat. I mean, your throat shouldn't be sore for 2 months. So what is this called? Yucca. Now,
Is it
let's
because
see.
you drank glass?
I probably drank a little glass. Let's see what these are rated here. Oh, here we go. Ooh. 31 out of 100 poor.
Okay.
Let's see what's poisoning me here.
It's not totally severed,
stop,
but it's
stop. Okay, so so it's got additives with a limited risk. Sugar too sweet. It's saying it's too sweet, too much sugar. That is not 39 grams per one of these. That can't be right. That is too sweet. I better not see no 39 grams on here. Sugar, fat, energy, fat, carbohydrates, protein, salt. Oh, they don't list how much sugar is in it.
Wow.
Just, that it has glucose syrup, sugar, glucose syrup, tapioca, all this crap. Sugar, too sweet. If this is 39 grams, then that is in fact poor. But you know what? I ain't watching my weight or my sugar. I eat a ton of sugar. You should have seen I was eating brownie after brownie. The only thing that's poor about this is it might affect my speech, which in that case I'll have to remove it. Let me get 3 or 4 rotations. You put on a song for God's
In
sake.
the meantime, go to 5815.
It's growing on my nose.
No.
Give me that code again.
5815.
Oh, Jesus, 5815. Okay.
No,
Just get
that's
a couple.
completely not at all.
It soothes rather quick. All my cigarette boxes are taped shut so that I really have to consider it before. These are just prop cigarettes from before. There's only one missing since that show I used them on.
That's proof. Little surprise.
Little surprise for the next asshole just to rob me and smoke. Don't celebrate your robbery with the smoke. Trust me on this.
5815.
what the hell is this?
You just typed in a crazy random number. 5815.
5815. Let's see what happens
effective.
here.
What does that mean? How do they define 100% effective? Does that mean if you take it, you definitely won't get COVID? Because that's what I thought it meant. Do you know what it meant in 100% effective in stopping death?
Uh-oh.
In the vaccine.
Okay, guys, I got to prep you for this one. We're getting another impression. Now, we're at 58 minutes. That's not even halfway into the show. So you can see this is going to show Joe's full anger. Joe finally snaps. He's had enough of the impressions. This one was too far for Joe. Watch this.
See, Robert Kennedy explained this to me.
RFK.
This is his words, not mine. But if he's right, it's the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. And I think he's right. In the placebo group, two people died.
I'm going to do his voice while you talk, if you don't mind.
Don't do that. In the placebo group, two.
Oh my gosh. Joe Rogan's talking and he's so serious he's about to cry. And then in the middle of Joe talking, he goes, I'm going to do an impression of how he talks while you talk, if that's okay. And Joe goes, do not do that. Watch this again. This is psychotic.
I think he's right. In the placebo group, two people died.
I'm going to do his voice while you talk, if you don't mind.
Don't do that. In the placebo group, two people.
I'm just kidding. Now, Tyler does not get the hint after. He continues to do voice after voice. Joe finally said, don't do that. And by the way, why the hell can't he do that? Is it insulting because it's RFK, or you fucking hate these impressions and you think that maybe people will understand if you put an end to that? Still very rude. He's still a guest on your show in front of 20 mil. You still should not be that rude
And
to
maybe
someone.
the audience wants to hear his nice impression he's worked so hard on instead of you just talking about vaccines.
I'll tell you this. Yeah. When Joe Rogan is rude to someone like that, that means he knows they're bullshit and he doesn't respect them. He's only rude to Brian Callen, him, Eric Weinstein. Who else is Joe rude like this to? He doesn't treat Shane like that. He doesn't treat, he treats Mark Norman like this.
Wow.
He only treats people he hates rudely. Anybody else, he laughs it up for them. He gives it all. So if he's rude to you, the Harlan thing an exception, and I wouldn't even call that rude. I would say Joe's mad at himself there. When he's rude to you like this and would talk to you like that in front of millions of people, that means he doesn't respect you at all. Because he would never talk like that to somebody. He talks like that to Bert. He does not talk like that to Tom. He does it to the people he hates. So anytime you see Joe do that, be rude to someone, that means, wow, Joe hates this person, and it's probably for the right reasons. That's the other thing. All the guys Joe hates, he's right about. Brian Callen, he's right. Bert, he's right. He's sick of hearing Bert's lies. Well, stop bringing him around. And Mark Norman, he's absolutely right, because Mark Norman also stinks. He'll do this if he thinks you stink and that you're full of shit. And he's usually right.
I think he's right. In the placebo group, two people died.
I'm going to do his voice while you talk, if you don't mind.
Don't do that.
I'm just
In the placebo group, two people died from COVID. In the vaccine group, one person died.
Yeah.
Two is
just wanna see his
100%
face.
more than one. So it's 100% effective.
Oh,
Imagine that.
Yeah.
a dead silence, and I heard a cigar toke.
Jamie, come on.
Look at this.
Effective. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that kind of math. That's Fauci kind of
Nobody really knew.
Nobody knew. It's like 100% effective. So you get people like Rachel Maddow on TV telling you that. The virus stops with you. You can't.
Fuck.
So similar to like Josh Denny, this doesn't phase Tyler. What is his last name?
Fischer.
Fischer. You gotta, okay. Fisher Price. That's how you could imagine. Little tiny kid, Fisher Price. Fisher, Tyler Fisher. Fisher favorites. It's a children's snack. Tyler Fisher. Ugh. Disgusting little fucking gremlin. Whoa, look at Joe, by the way. Had no idea he's making this face. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5,000 wrinkles.
It's looking like Go Beckley.
Go Beckley, go Beckley, go Beckley, Tuppy.
Go Bepley.
Yeah, I said the word.
Okay, we have to finish
Yeah,
this so
of
we
course.
can go to
Okay.
Denny's special before
So,
it's
what's
2
the next code?
Okay. Should we explore this joke transition into live?
Yes, this is huge. This is huge.
Go to 011400. So this is something we'll have to figure out together.
Yeah, and this is something we're kind of onto right now, and I've seen people do this before. So here's the concept: you tell a joke, clear as day. You have a realistic premise that Joe Rogan falls for. You do the punchline to the joke, and it goes over Joe's head. So instead of going, it's a joke, just a joke, you can't do that to Joe. You can't bring yourself to make him look humiliated in front of you. So this is something I've seen this done a few times before. It's a concept called a joke into a lie. What you're going to see here is him do a joke to Rogan that Rogan falls for and doesn't get. So instead of telling Joe, he decides to turn it into a real story that Joe could follow. We know this to be true, kind of, because we watched him do this bit on his special without the other part. Watch this.
He's a performer, you know. But that's what half this country wants. They want someone who's just going to make them feel good enough to go to work every day.
Sure.
Well, as their rights get eroded.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Kamala Harris, that would be interesting. Even to have her for one day as president.
Bro, they've been hiding that lady.
That would be interesting.
No. That's when Russia's going to attack.
You know, I got kicked out of a comedy club for doing an impression of her.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. You know I got kicked out of a comedy club for doing an impression of Kamala Harris? No. What did you say? Well, okay. That premise is one of the jokes of his special. Well, we can show you after this. He does this joke in his special. Watch this thing.
Attack.
You know, I got kicked out of a comedy club for doing an impression of her.
No.
Yeah.
What?
They said it's no longer okay for a straight white guy to do an impression of a retarded hyena.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. He told his joke. That's it. Uh-oh. I did it. I've done it again. He told his joke. That was it. You know, I got kicked out of a comedy club for making fun of Kamala Harris. Yeah, they said I couldn't do impressions of crazy hyenas. It's just a joke from his stand-up special. A terrible joke. Joe doesn't understand it's a joke, but doesn't want to, like, he just wants to. It seems like he finds out it was a joke when he hears the punchline, but instead of going, replies with, wow. And then Tyler has to do this thing that that he does all the time, probably. He just goes, okay, Joe thought that was a real story, so I got to make it real. Watch this. Watch this whole thing again. This is very strange.
For doing an impression of her?
No.
Yeah.
What?
They said it's no longer okay for a straight white guy to do an impression of a retarded hyena.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the club?
There's no club. It was a joke. Joke over. But Tyler does the remarkable. We've never seen this done. Instead of manning up and going, it's just a joke. Actually, a joke from my special that you said you watched. And I thought we're kind of doing like a Bob and Tom radio thing where I do my jokes. You agree to them. I've done like 50 of them already, remember? And you pretended that you were hearing them the first time. It's just a joke. But instead of saying that, he goes,
Hyena.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the club?
It was like a makeshift thing during COVID. It was this outdoor thing.
What?
I got thrown out. They go, you're racist. I was like making fun of her, and I got thrown to the curb.
Wait, so now it's not a joke anymore. Now it's a real story about being thrown into the curb because that never happened. But he didn't want to break Joe's heart and say that was just a joke. I've never seen somebody do this before. They turned their joke into a lie story to get out of the other person's embarrassment of the joke going over their head. I've never seen this done. I mean, I have, I think. A few times.
It was this outdoor thing,
Like that,
and I
guys.
got thrown out. They go, you're racist. I was like making fun of her, and I got thrown to the curb.
Wow.
Because I couldn't do the clubs. I was unvaccinated. I hate saying unvaccinated. That makes it sound like the vaccine. It's like being, I didn't get circumcised.
He didn't do well in New York comedy just because he was unvaccinated, you see. I'm sure he didn't write a giant post tagging every comedy club that never booked him in the first place and insulted all of them. Everybody else in New York was able to get through this. Not you, though. They singled you out for being white. And how would they know you're unvaccinated? The bullshit comedy clubs that you work at. You think the Stand is going, vax card, please?
And just get a fake card. What happened to that?
I don't know. Do you have any other proof of vax? It's like, come on. That did not happen. Louis J. Gomez never got the vax. He did sleight of hand. She went to do it. He went, thank you. Ooh, it hurts. Thank you. Thanks for the card. He did sleight of hand. Louis J. Gomez, of course. All right. And he's working everywhere. He's quick.
Curb.
Wow.
Because I couldn't do the clubs. I was
They
unvaccinated.
threw him to the curb.
I hate saying unvaccinated. That makes it sound like the vaccine. It's like being, I didn't get.
But wait. Listen to this story. I got to hear this again. I think he's telling two stories that don't. Let me see.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the
What
club?
was the club?
It was like a makeshift thing during COVID.
A makeshift thing during COVID. So not a club. You said I got thrown out of a comedy club for doing a joke about Kamala Harris. Called her a chimpanzee. Ha ha ha. Oh, what club? It wasn't even a club. It was a makeshift thing during COVID. Okay.
It was this outdoor thing, and I got thrown out. They go, you're racist. I was like making fun of her.
I got thrown out. They said, you're racist. You were thrown out of the club because you're racist.
And I got thrown to the curb.
Thrown to the curb.
Wow.
Because I couldn't do the clubs. I was unvaccinated. I hate saying unvaccinated.
Oh, okay. He was doing the outdoor thing because he couldn't do the clubs because he wasn't vaccinated. So he had to do outdoor makeshift things that were so strict. They didn't care about the vax, but they said, no, you're
And
racist.
even more so, they don't really exist, so they can't disprove this story.
It's just a makeshift. This was,
Don't
like
bother
some
calling
street
them. I don't even
people.
know
You don't know
who
the guy who runs
put this
it.
together.
It was just a makeshift club. It wasn't from so-and-so, from the scene, or Nobody you knew. It was just you went there, you're like, I heard you're doing comedy here. I never heard of you, and you never heard of me. I'd love to be a part of this show. Now watch this drive.
The curb.
Wow.
Because I couldn't do the clubs. I was
Wait,
unvaccinated.
they threw him to the curb at a makeshift outdoor event. You were already by the curb. This is a makeshift outdoor event, and they threw you to the curb from the curb. Interesting. Okay.
I hate saying unvaccinated. That makes it sound like the vaccine. It's like being I didn't get circumcised. I don't like being called uncircumcised.
Right.
Yeah. So you can't un something that just is.
Right.
It's the dick and then the chop dick.
Yeah.
I hate that.
It is weird.
You gotta be careful
got
with
him.
the way we
He's
phrase
back.
you're unvaxxed. It's like, go fuck it. I'm just a human with blood, regular blood.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for fighting for us.
Okay, now at this point, this guy he goes baby reindeer mode.
This
let's say.
This gets weird. And you know what? This is going to hit even harder now that you've come this far. This is Tyler Fischer.
01-15-35.
Have you seen Baby Reindeer? I got an email the other day, broke my heart. Hey, Mike, just saw Baby Reindeer. Don't even bother watching that bullshit. I'd love your take on this fucking gender-bending bullshit that they're trying to shove down our throats. God, that was the worst show ever. And I'm like, didn't see that email. We're about to hear Baby Reindeer 2. This is Baby Reindeer. What's the code?
01-15-35.
011535. Listen to this. This gets twisted. This is Baby Reindeer style. Remember Martha? I've got Marthas. I had a Martha who I think, could be a friend. I'm reaching out to all my Marthas, by the way. It's always an open invitation to start again. Start fresh. You don't have to be a Martha. Watch this.
What is going on? When I started comedy, I started around the time of like Sam Morrill and Mark Normand, and I started 2 years after them, and we were still doing open mics. You'd see Mark Normand on The Tonight Show, and then back at the club, hey, comedy, all right, you're gay, I'm fat, praise Allah, hey,
Yeah.
And we would say the craziest
Proof that he knows Mark Normand. They would always talk. That's why I've never fucking heard of you from Mark. Ooh, that guy. Hey, ooh. Yeah, that's what he would say about you. Just because you corner somebody at a comedy club and they don't have the guts to spit in your face like you deserve, doesn't mean they're your friends.
shit. And it made you good. And then suddenly
Watch
it was
this.
like, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say that.
Yeah.
And it's all made up. It's all made up.
It all
The fake
happened
rules.
during the Obama administration. It was a wave of it. And Dave Smith has tracked it. It's really interesting
Really?
to describe it. Yeah. He describes like when the phrases, all the different
That's when N-Bop came out. Sorry, this doesn't read. This doesn't track. N-Bop, the hit song that almost probably over 1 billion people have enjoyed, came out during the Obama years or shortly after. Nobody cared. In fact, I was thanked by an entire school about that song.
Yep.
As the creator of N-Bop. Do people even call it N-Bop? Or is that our name?
People usually call it the racist DuckTales
Tales
theme.
I might perform that live at an event for charity that I'm throwing at the Greek.
Yeah.
We're almost, tickets are almost gone for that event. I'll be singing it live in front of a whole crowd of Obama's family.
catchphrases that all of it's
What's this?
around 2012. It's like this
Baby
big
reindeer
ramp up
time.
of all these things, racism, all these ideas,
Sexism.
transphobia, all this big ramp up of all these issues happened around 2012.
I'm transphobic, but that just means because I'm afraid of them. Joe,
I love that. I'm transphobic because that just means I'm afraid of them. That's funny. But wait till you hear this part. He's transphobic. He hates trans. He's part of the Daily Wire. Trans is their biggest issue. Okay, do I hate trans people? For the most part, 7 out of 10 trans people I despise. If you're Chinese, you're the perfect fucking trans person. You're the perfect mix of a little Chinese. You got the perfect hair for this, the perfect voice. Then, I'm almost too into you. Almost too into the tees in that way. I'd love, again, to watch Robin Tran try on outfits for me. I hope Robin Tran... When I talk to Robin Tran, I envision a very Chinese woman that is just a simple Chinese woman. That's how I've imagined her. It's much easier over text to fall for the trans. Because I don't think of Robin Tran as a man at all. In fact, on my Instagram, when she comes, I put a piece of tape so that I can't see her. And I peel the tape and I keep moving it up. Okay, watch this. This is getting baby reindeer. He hates trans people. He's transphobic, but
of all these things, racism, all these ideas, transphobia, all this big ramp up of all these issues happened around 2012.
I'm transphobic, but that just means because I'm afraid of them. Joe, I've gone out with 2 by accident.
Yeah,
I've gone out with 2 by accident. No way. He's gone out with 2 trans people by accident.
I mean, we all just watched Baby Reindeer like 2 weeks ago.
So listen to this.
I'm afraid of them. Joe, I've gone out with 2 by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do online dating, and you'd show, they would have good angles. The surgery's getting good too. And if they're Asian, game over.
What the fuck?
Game over. So I was on a date.
He speaks the truth.
It was a black woman. It turned out to be a man.
A black woman. He went out with a black trans man, like a full b-ball basketball man, and he thought that was. Imagine thinking a black guy is a chick. Really? Think about that. How hard that would be. Have you seen a black tranny? They're like, yeah, what if Detroit? They're very not women. Listen to this.
If they're Asian?
Asian, yeah, okay, I agree with that.
Game over. So I was on a
No,
date.
I don't agree that they look more like women and I'd be tricked. If they're Asian, I like them better. That had nothing to do with beauty. In fact, I thought I was saying the opposite. The stark opposite. When I say Asian, I'm imagining like the gookiest thing you could imagine. Jeez. I forget when some people say, oh, Asian, oh, hubba, hubba. Not me. Remember, I had this thing at the grocery store where you'd go, hot chick or Asian? Hot chick or Asian? Ah, just an Asian lady. Is that a hot chick or? Oh, she's Asian. Too bad. So, I just want to make that perfectly clear. Listen to this.
Date with it was a black woman. It turned out to be a man. And I had a complete mental breakdown. I ran in the bathroom. I called my friend. I go, I'm out with a dude, and he wants to fuck me. He wants to take me home.
So?
Yeah.
What did you do?
That happened twice.
That happened twice. Imagine that happening to you. Really imagine something like that happening.
Joe likes that, huh?
You think Joe likes that? That sickens. That makes Joe sick to his fucking stomach. If you said you had 2 trans people that you've spoken to, he'd be like, I don't know, man. It's pretty fucking sick. But the fact that you dated 2 trans men, and how many dates are we talking about? You're so small. I mean, these guys had to be fucking giant. Or are you so small that every woman looks so big to you so you can't tell? Either way,
That's interesting.
If you go on a date with 2 trans people, you're trans. I'm sorry. I mean, you're gay. You're hot. That means you want trans people and you're a psycho. Okay? I think it's psychotic for a straight person, a straight man, to want to be with a transgender woman.
And maybe this didn't come across because we've been skipping around, but the entire first part of this podcast is him just like complaining about trans people with Joe. Like,
so he's been
about
bashing trans people this whole time, and now all of a sudden he admits he's gone on 2 dates. Listen to this tale.
A man. And I had a complete mental breakdown. I ran in the bathroom. I called my friend. I go, I'm out with a dude, and he wants to fuck me. He wants to take me home.
So you're still on the date. You hate trans people with all your heart. You've been doing this for a living for 3 years. You go on a date with a black person who you shouldn't be involved with anyway, as far as the Daily Wire does. Do they know that at the Daily Wire? So you find out it's a man at dinner. You run to the payphone, by the lobby. What do I do?
And your friend was like,
you leave. And you don't tell your friend.
your friend was like, put this earpiece in your ear.
Yeah,
I'll
and
tell
I'll talk
what
you
to
through
say."
it. Yeah. I mean, you hate trans people, remember? Why did you call your friend and ask what to do? What you do is you hate them and you leave at the very least, and you beat the living shit out of them at the expected. At the very expected. Okay? So listen to this story.
Yeah. And I had a complete mental breakdown. I ran in the bathroom. I called my friend. I go, I'm out with a dude. And he wants to fuck me. He wants to take me home.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened.
Jesus, Joe says. You can't think of anything worse. Jesus. So basically, Joe is like panicking, thinking that this could happen to him. Which it has. Have you seen Joe Rogan's wife? Tell me that's not a full guy. Tell me that Joe Rogan's daughter isn't a guy.
And he wants to fuck me. He wants to take me home.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened twice.
So did they explain to you that they had a dick?
No.
No.
If you're dealing with someone who has I'm not saying all people that I don't even think trans is it's all fucking just makes you have a seizure, but no, they don't.
It's
a lot
real,
of them
and you
don't tell
experienced it twice.
You're part of the fucking trans operation. I mean, you're way closer than most people to what's going on.
You're fully involved.
And you probably sucked his fucking cock. Well, I already paid for the calamari. You doing your bush? Delightful. Are you gonna? You ladied in the tramp with her? Where are you on a date that's a dinner? That doesn't sound like what a trans person would do. Trans person going on a public dinner date with you? With your American flag hat? What trans person would even go near you?
I know.
You know what I mean? They'd be like, so what do you do for a living? I work at the Daily Wire, slaying the LGBT bullshit of our time. Would you like to go out sometime? You sound amazing.
A lot of them feel like you don't have to tell. I was actually watching a podcast.
Wait. A lot of them feel like they don't have to tell you. See, Joe's an expert at this. Listen to this.
Well, a lot of them feel like you don't have to tell. I was actually watching a podcast.
Is that true,
where
Robin?
a comic was arguing.
I'm not down with that. Is that true? I bet that's very rare. I bet they'd be scared to death to do that. You know, because then they're cruising for a bruising. You know, they've seen this time and time again in movie, right? You find out they're trans, the guy could snap and kill you. I don't know if they're all doing that. That seems like a crazy person's move. Robin Tran, are you doing this? Did you do it to me?
Have to tell. I was actually watching a podcast where a comic was arguing that you shouldn't have to tell someone that you're trans if you're dating them, even if you're having sex with them.
Well, you're gonna find out
A comic was arguing that.
when their fucking vagina.
And they were
comes
doing
apart.
it in just this woke,
Vagina comes apart.
compliant way. It wasn't like they had a well thought out point.
They were doing
it was
it
just
in a
like, yeah,
woke
why should you have
way.
to tell people? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? You should tell people if you have bad credit. you should tell people if you're going to get involved in a romantic relationship with someone and you owe the guy.
What's his next code?
Okay, so I have a million codes about how he cannot get hired or get any work whatsoever because he's white, and that's the
Yeah.
only reason. But I feel like we don't
Yeah,
have to
we
get
get
into
that.
that. So
Yeah.
let's end with this one. 012330.
1, 2, 3, 30.
But he's like, yeah, I came up with Mark Normand and Sam Morril. I have the same agent as them. And then my agent dropped me. And everyone says, you can't get on SNL because you're white.
Wow.
Deal with it. But
Okay.
all kinds of, but anyways, that's not what this is about.
No.
But
So what I'm at 123. Okay. Let's hear it.
Time it happened to me, I was invited to do a podcast. So a woman, she was a lesbian. She wanted me to come on and tell the story of being raised by gay men. She goes, I think.
Wait,
this would be-
excuse me?
oh yes, his dads are gay also.
His dad is gay. No joke. His brother is also gay. Can you believe this? Imagine being raised by a queer father. At that size. No wonder he's out stealing cigars. He's got to double down. Okay, so he's saying raised by two queer dads And a gay brother. His whole family was gay.
A lesbian. She wanted me to come on and tell the story of being raised by gay men. She goes, I think this will be good to bridge our two fan bases so people can hear it from a straight guy's point of view of what it's like to kind of grow up in around, you know, I grew up in gay bars and piano bars and drag.
I grew up in gay bars and piano bars and drag bars. And you couldn't tell? Two trans women were trans, and you hate trans people with all your heart? What is going on in this baby reindeer?
Up in around, you know, I grew up in gay bars and piano bars and drag shows, and I'm kind of the long-term study for what it does to you. It fucks you up.
Wow.
You know, I started to think maybe I'm gay, maybe I'm...
Okay. I started to think maybe I'm gay. Was this before or after the black athletic trans man that you kissed on the date at the Italian joint? This is a troubled ute.
It fucks you up. You know, I started to think maybe I'm gay, maybe I'm, you know, in college, actually, I was going home to visit my family. I tried kissing a guy just because I felt like...
Okay, Sorry, sir, you gay? Sir, are you gay? Yeah. I'm sorry, sir. He said he was gay. This is a citizen's electric chair.
I didn't realize how long that went on.
He thought he was gay so much that in college, which was... You're pretty old in college. Imagine being in college and kissing a guy not knowing what's up from down. I mean, to a guy who's straight, you would never kiss a guy in your whole life. That's what these gay guys don't realize when they say this shit out loud. When these people, oh, I kissed a guy, I went on dates with guys, but it turns out I'm not gay. You're gay. Real people who aren't gay, they couldn't fucking even imagine. They couldn't imagine. Listen to this.
You know, I started to think maybe I'm gay, maybe I'm...
You are.
You know, in college, actually, I was going home to visit my family. I tried kissing a guy just because I felt like I needed to fit in.
Whoa.
This shit really...
How'd that go?
Oh, he was like, get the fuck away from me. I remember I was in the car and just going like, fuck, maybe I'm gay. My dad's gay. I got a gay brother. One of my dad's brothers is gay. I think my grandfather...
That's too many fucking homos in the family. My dad's gay. My grandpa's gay. My uncles are all gay. My brother's gay. I mean, what am I to think? That, I don't know if that... Has that ever happened? Is this possible? If it is, that's like the sickest family I've ever fucking heard of.
This is insane.
The generations of gay people throughout your family's history, just all it's gay from dating back to the 1800s. Listen to this fucking tale.
I'm gay. My dad's gay. I got a gay brother. One of my dad's brothers is gay. I think my grandfather... It's, you know, it's shit's genetic.
Yeah,
it's
for
genetic.
sure.
And I lean in and go,
For
get the fuck
sure.
away from me. Because I just wanted to fit in. I wanted something to talk about at Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
I wanted to be the gay, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the gay. That's what he just said. To fit in? No. Tim Dillon, does this make a lick of sense? Let's find out. Let's see what Tim Dillon has to say about this. Oh, it is no. He's not. That is not. This doesn't even make sense to him, and he's terribly humiliated for being gay, which he shouldn't be. He should go on a date with me.
And if this is all true, then you're selling out your entire family for cash.
For cash.
with the
It's like,
Daily
why would you do
Wire.
this to your family if this is also true? This is crazy.
Brother. One of my dad's brothers is gay. I think my grandfather... It's, you know, it's shit's genetic.
Yeah,
it's
for
genetic.
sure.
And I lean in and go, get the fuck away from me. Because I just wanted to fit in. I wanted something to talk about at Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
I wanted to be the gay, you know.
Yeah.
It's so...
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. This girl invited me on to talk about this, and she was a friend. She texts me, and she goes, I think this was after the George Floyd thing, maybe, and she goes, I can't have a straight white guy on anymore. And I remember just going like, what the fuck? You can't have me on just because my skin color?
What changed?
It was during the BLM stuff. That stuff really ramped up. It became
Anyways, the
kind
rest of the podcast is
Yeah.
pretty much
Guess who
this.
survived BLM? Me. And I basically started this George Floyd shit. Who do you think told the officer where he was? Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that.
Okay, wait, this is a good ending. Actually, go to 012800 really quick, and then we got to do Denny.
And then it's Denny time.
Yes.
Celebration like no other. Save your stomach, save your system. 3:09 a.m. right now
It's just the intro.
on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I'm waiting for that 16. I don't get no 15. No. Okay, let's see what happens here.
Making Instagram videos. I mean, I went from 0 to over a million followers just from. I was doing Fauci every day, doing cameos, going on the radio as Fauci.
Wow.
And it was just bizarre. And,
okay.
But it fucked me up because it's so confusing to have someone go, you are the man for the job. I had a great resume. I mean, I was being considered for big Hollywood roles.
Okay, look at this. I was being considered for big Hollywood roles. I could see it. Wait till you see who took his spot here. Coming up, but he's talking about how he lost a lot of jobs. He was on pace to be a big actor. I could see it. You know, I've seen people like him on TV, despicable people that I despise. So I could see this. Let's hear his story.
Job. I had a great resume.
Great resume.
I was being considered for big Hollywood roles. I was brought in for Sneaky Pete, Giovanni Ribisi. I was up for that.
Giovanni Ribisi. You know that asshole? I despise him. What is he from? Where do we know him from? Giovanni Ribisi. Ugh. What a little actor, schmendrick fuck. So you could have been the next Giovanni Ribisi. I'm ashamed to know that man's name. I think.
Hollywood roles. I was brought in for Sneaky Pete, Giovanni Ribisi. I was up for that role. And making my own films. Yeah, it fucked me up. I got really depressed. I lost my mind.
And so when you recorded this on tape, what happened after you recorded it on tape?
After that, I was too afraid because when I would tell people about this, they would go, well, whatever. White guys have had it good. And I'm going, I just fucking got here.
But isn't that one of the things that someone said to you? Like, white guys have had a good run?
Oh, people say it to me all the time.
But wasn't that one of the things that one of the agents had said to you?
I mean, I don't know if it.
So he told Joe Rogan that his agent, because he's always spouting lies. So probably last week he was like, yeah, my agent told me flat out, there's no more room for white guys. That's over. Watch this.
To you? Like, white guys have had a good run?
Oh, people say it to me all the time.
But wasn't that one of the things that one of the agents had said to you?
I mean, I don't know if an agent said that, but
you were telling me that someone said it to you.
Comedy clubs, a lot not necessarily clubs, but like the independent run shows. There would be no white.
But did anyone actually say this to you? Because you told me they did. Interesting.
Not necessarily clubs, but like the independent run shows. There would be
Busted, they're saying.
No white people allowed shows.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was at a club and I did a spot. Guy goes, "You going on the next show?" And I go, "Yeah."
Anyways,
he goes, "I didn't know you were in the
He never stops lying either.
He knows.
Tyler Fischer, everybody, Discovery, day one. Tyler Fischer, that was a big discovery. That's our first time meeting him. Go watch his special. It's a hoot. This 21-minute special is great. It's filmed at the mothership. He's there every week now. This is part of Joe Rogan's crew. This is the new, and Joe's going to see it's just going to keep turning into more of this crap. Could be a big ending for Joe Rogan one day. Could be a nice, crazy ending.
Nigga, what?
Yeah.
Knock, knock. Just ugly. Who's there?
A murderer.
Murderer who?
Let's kill Logic's kid. Logic, baby, ugly.